Hey everybody, Dustin DePirac here, columnist Jeremy Price. Coming to you from Assembly Hall. We had to switch it up today because Osterman stole our spot. You know, what are you going to do? Anyway, Indiana just thoroughly whoops, rubs, destroys, dominates, annihilates SamHoustonState 99-45. Biggest margin of victory since last year when they beat Howard 107-50. I remember that one. I think it was right over Christmas break where they kind of had gone from playing really good teams to playing shaky ones again, and just made it kind of clear what sort of level that they'd risen to at that point. And that's kind of what happened tonight, basically. I think everybody, when a team's preseason number one and it's playing, some lesser teams early on, you kind of wait for that game where they kind of prove just how much better, how superior they are, and wait to see a team just come out and do it from the opening tip and be up 20-0 or 30-0 or whatever, and that's pretty much what happened tonight. Opened up on a 16-2 run. It was 50-19 right before the break, and it was just a thorough, complete, just whooping.
Yeah, it was pretty much pedal to the metal for 40 minutes and basically became a highlight reel kind of game pretty much from middle of the first half on, for that matter. And there were some highlight reel
There
plays.
were a lot of highlight reel plays. Jordy Hulls had 5 assists. Pretty much all of them were spectacular. It was a really nice looking no-look, sort of left-handed, pass he made to Cody Zeller for a dunk. He found Victor Oladipo for an alley-oop. Found Watford on basically a half-court pass that was a no-look, more or less. Oladipo dunked on a give and go, and that was pretty much just wicked. And it was thorough. I mean, they caused 19 turnovers, scored 29 points off turnovers, got going on the break, shot 56.6%, held Sam Houston State to 30.2%, and that was really, I think, one of the big takeaways. I think they've been playing pretty well defensively, but this was the best they've played defensively so far.
Yeah, I think they definitely took it to another level, and they played pretty good defense against North Dakota State the other night, but this was just kind of picked up where they left off with that game, and were able to sustain it for a higher level.
Yeah. Sam Houston State is a team that likes to run a little bit, really likes to shoot from outside. They really have sort of a 4-out, 1-in situation where it's just the center, Michael Holyfield, inside, and everybody else kind of running around the perimeter looking for shots. And they took 26 threes tonight, only hit 5 of them. And in large part that was because, Indiana was really harassing ball handlers and, getting hands up, contesting shots, and basically not giving Sam Houston State anything that it really wanted to do. Taking advantage of all the missed shots they had. Again, they dominated on the boards. 45-23 was the final rebounding margin. They had more offensive boards, almost as many offensive boards. They had 16 offensive boards, and pretty much just were all over them in every way, shape, and form, and just dominated on the defensive end and just really dictated again, like in a different way than they did against North Dakota State. North Dakota State definitively did not want to do what Indiana wanted to do. Sam Houston State was a little bit more okay with it, but in the same sense, Indiana really dictated play tonight in every way.
Yeah, this is the third game. This is the third different style of play that Indiana has faced, and while Bryant was willing to run, I think they were a little more conventional with what they were running. North Dakota State obviously wanted to slow it down a little bit, more of a half-court style. Sam Houston State, the 4-out and the 1-in. It really hasn't mattered what Indiana's faced so far. I mean, clearly the teams are outmatched, but also the fact that Indiana is able to dictate the pace of play, the tempo of play, the style of play, no matter who the opponent is, and that bodes well going forward.
Going forward, again, it's different. You're still talking about teams that are athletically inferior, that are inferior in terms of size, firepower, and just in every way across the board right now. I mean, these aren't bad teams at the levels they're at, but they just aren't at this level. These guys are just beyond. So, you're seeing the difference pretty much every game at this point. A bunch of, I think, interesting individual stories from today, more so, I think, than, kind of collectively. Collectively, it was just, again, a thorough beating. But, a few things. For one thing, Jordan Hulls gets to 1,000 points, and it was a very fitting way for him to do it, I thought. He just hit a huge three from about 25 feet out. They announce he's got 1,000 points. The crowd erupts or whatever, and, Tom Crean calls a timeout. Hulls runs over and does not know why a timeout's being called. He thinks he might even get pulled. He missed a layup. He missed a free throw, and he'd taken that deep three that, with other people you might consider that irresponsible. And Tom, Crean was there, and he picked up, lifted up Hull's arm like he just won a boxing match. And Hull said, I didn't know what was going on. He somehow just missed the fact that this announcement and everything. It was a very just Hull's moment. I think it was, kind of a good opportunity to sort of honor, Jordy, the local kid, hardest working kid on the team, one of the hardest working kids in college basketball for sure, had an opportunity to really sort of, take it in a little bit tonight.
Yeah, it was a great moment all the way around. Especially nice that he could hit that mark here at Assembly Hall in his hometown, and the fact that the fans were very well aware that he was right there, and that was one of the few points of drama left at that point in the game was whether
he was going to get it or not, because he'd had 7 and again, it missed a free throw. And when Jordy misses free throws, there's this, the level of, frustration he has, I guess, it kills him every single time he misses a free throw, because he says, you just shouldn't miss them. They're free. There's a reason. And usually it takes him a few plays to get over that. But, I think that was part of the reason why he squared up and took the 3, because he just needed to get that out of his head, and he did. But and also on the night he just had great vision tonight, just top to bottom, just outstanding vision, was just throwing out just impressive assists, 5 assists, no turnovers, most of them for alley-oops. Yeah, Osterman's over here. It's a problem. Anyway, continue.
He's doing a good job, I think, right now of finding that balance between scoring and passing the ball. When he gets an open look, he's taking it, and IU's going to need him to knock down those open shots, but he's also looking for the open teammate and finding them.
And it's interesting because you have talked so much about this Yogi Ferrell and Jordan Hall's dynamic about, okay, who's the point guard or whatever, and how does this thing work? And again, Tom Crean said it from the beginning that he can run 2 point guards in his offense. Yogi's probably handling it a little bit more, but Hall's is still in a situation sometimes where he's sort of taking control. He's still the guy that's directing traffic in terms of where everybody's supposed to be. He knows the offense. He's, the true kind of coach on the floor. As much as Yogi might be the guy who attacks, takes the ball at the top of the key, maybe brings the ball up a little bit more and attacks off the dribble. Jordy can still do all those things, and Jordy is still the guy who's sort of making everything, making the trains run on time, I guess you could say, and Jordy's still that guy. Don't have a whole lot of time. We've got to move on to a couple different guys. Cody Zeller had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and apparently he's really sick. Apparently he didn't practice all week. I don't know exactly what it is he's got, but he's just dealing with trainers and doctors all week. His mom came out, and when you're a college kid and your mom comes out like that, that's when you're sick. You really got to be in bad shape to make that phone call.
It's more than chicken noodle soup time.
Yeah, no, it's you don't often go in that direction. I'm sure Cody's no different than the rest of us. I know when I was in college, I would not have made that phone call. There's just no way.
Yeah.
But you got to be ill. So Cody must be feeling it, and that's what Tom said, that he wouldn't even tell people ordinarily if he's sick. If he's telling somebody, that means he's going through it, and he was still impressive. You could tell a little bit, but he was still 5 for 6 from the field, dominant, moving the ball really well. Again, 4 assists. He obviously passes the ball well, but he doesn't necessarily have that many. And he was solid despite as sick as he was. Victor Oladipo had 14, and that was the most he scored. Christian Watford did not start this game. And Tom Crean made a point to say, I wanted an energy change. What that really means is he wanted to motivate Watford, and Watford very much responded in every way he could. 23 points, 5 for 8 from the field, 3 threes, perfect from the line, 6 rebounds, and 13 deflections. Again, the Tom Crean word, but he was there, 2 steals, and he was really all over the place. He was using that length that he's got. His 6'9" guy, pressuring guys, good and getting on the perimeter and causing havoc. He was top to bottom really solid tonight, the best we've seen him.
Only the second time in his career that he did not start a game at Indiana, which is an amazing fact alone when you think about it.
Yeah, although a lot of that reason was you couldn't not. There was a stretch that you couldn't not start Christian. There wasn't an option, but as the talent has gotten better, he stayed there, and it was.
And maybe a little early season message to remind him that we need.
You need to be at a high level.
High level, a high energy is required.
Because there's guys that take his spot now. And they put Will Sheehy in, as Tom Crean said. I look at Will as a starter, and he has every reason to. And Will Sheehy did fine in the starting role, 18 points, 5 boards.
His best game of the year.
Yeah, no, definitely. Both of them were really, really, really strong. But yeah, no, top to bottom, all those guys. And Maurice Creek had a pretty decent night. Yogi Ferrell didn't score a whole bunch, had 7 assists, no turnovers. Again, top to bottom. And at this point, though, now this is the turnover. Now you get to start playing teams that, everybody knows, more or less. Georgia's not playing particularly well right now, but this, they go on the road. It's not a true road game, but it's the only time they're leaving the state until New Year's Eve. They go to Iowa. So what are you looking for real quick? What are you interested to see in these next couple of games?
Well, first of all, you just want to see, against a higher caliber team, a higher caliber of athlete. I mean, I know Georgia's struggled this year, but that's a team that's still going to have.
Yeah.
That's team's still going to have some athletes on it that are going to be able to compete at a higher level. And then you're looking at UCLA or Georgetown, the first real test of the season, and it'll be interesting to see, especially with the thin front line, how does IU match up in those games.
No, the all wing lineup worked again today, but you're going to find out whether it really works. Again, a little bit was made of the fact that Sam Houston State had a true post player in Michael Holyfield. Michael Holyfield had 1 point, 1 rebound, and 5 fouls. That's not the real test. You're going to find out the real test when they play guys like UCLA, the Ware twins, and Parker, and Josh Smith is, those type of guys, Georgetown. You're going to find out pretty soon a little bit more about this team. Thanks, guys.